in. Much booked. Fantastic. Welcome in, my pretties. How are we on this fantastic Wednesday? Good, bad, fantastic. Michelle's in. All the usual suspects. Good, fantastic. Elizabeth's in, Kiani's in, Sahar's in. Good to see Sahar on here more often. Fantastic. We fixed kind of the link problem. We're just posting it on school now. Make sure you book in so we have your details so we can keep track of you. Okay. Otherwise, good to see everybody familiarizing with the system. It was a bit of a fuck around, but we got there in the end. So thank you for your patience. Yeah, we're going to kick off on emotional eating today. So conversation, probably going to get a little bit vulnerable. I'm going to ask for your reflections after I run through everything. Last night's call that we ran through was a bit of a banger. One of the key things that stood out to me was one of the gals in there, for privacy reasons. I'm sure she wouldn't mind me telling the story at all. She's a ledge, but she mentioned that since learning how to deal with her emotions, since joining the program and coaching and all that sort of good stuff, is she never really used to look after herself. She used to put herself last. And you know me, I'm always big on like captain should steer the fucking ship, and then you shouldn't be scrapping the deck. And so she was going on a holiday in like 4 months or something. She had to tell her kids and her husband, like, hey, I don't have the emotional capacity, because she homeschools her kids. I don't have the emotional capacity to go on this trip in 3 or 4 months. I know if I go in 6 months' time, it's really going to cause me to snap and break. And she goes, at this time, I'm really comfortable actually with heading on and fronting the disappointment from my children. And I thought it was a really, really fucking interesting thing, because a lot of mums are really afraid of letting people down. And she goes, you know what? I know my kids are going to be okay if they don't go on a holiday. It's all right. But if I'm not okay, the rest of the fucking house isn't okay. I can see some of you nodding along with that one as well. And I just thought it was a really, really awesome way to reframe some of this, because she's one of the people that came into the program, was on diets from the age of fucking 8. If you can imagine, I'm sure some of you were on diets and had fucking super young, did Weight Watchers with mum, maybe in your teens, whatever. That's usually a common theme. Maria's nodding away.
Yep, absolutely.
Right. It is really, really, really hard to make that leap. But she's one of those people now that has really rich and present experiences with her kids as a result of making sure that she's okay. Not golden, not fucking, jumping for joy every moment, but at least being present. And her emotional eating stuff has largely subsided to a really big degree. She struggled with it for 30 years. So I just wanted to open with that, share that, because I think it was really important. It was a moment that was like, bang on for me. I don't know if any of you take something from that, but it was a really, really cool moment inside the call that I thought was worth sharing. So whatever you guys decide to share on today, please feel free to be super vulnerable, whatever you guys want to learn. This is usually one that's a bit of a banger and some really cool takeaways for you. So we'll do some reflections on the end. I'll run through some of the slides. I'll get you guys to put up your hands as you see fit, but I'll share my screen. Can we see this, friends? Give me a yay. It's not cool.
Yes.
Yes, great. Emotional
Yes.
eating, the habit that's running in you, right? Let's call it what it is. Emotional eating is not hunger. It's stress relief. For a lot of you gals, it's boredom. I eat when I'm bored. That's probably a good 50 to 70% of you gals. It's a reward. It's escape. It's stuff it. I've already blown it. How many of you have done that? I've done it many times. The in for a penny, in for a pound. That's one of my favorites.
Yep.
Well, I've done 1,000 calories. I might as well fucking do 5. Let's
Yep.
go. Let's run up the numbers. You're not weak, but you are conditioned, and conditioning can change. Something that I always thought for so long that I used to call it, I don't know about you gals, but it wasn't the what I decided to use. Sex, drugs, rock and roll relationships, whatever I was running from myself, right? Or the pain of the present moment, right? And I always thought, I used to say, there's a little demon inside me, right? Until I realized, oh no, Adriano, I'm just conditioned to act a certain way in certain circumstances. I just act that way. Doesn't mean there's some little Adriano demon that wants me dead. It just means in a particular situation, I zigged instead of zagged. No judgment.
Mhm.
I was just used to doing this way instead of used to doing this way. There was no reason for if I had to go to Coles, I had to buy $60 worth of shopping when shopping was cheap, mind you, 10 years ago when I had bad binge eating stuff. Right? Not the prices today. I probably would have paid 120 the way I used to go. But with that being said, it wasn't that. It was like I didn't have to go. I could have just bought a lolly and went home, which I do now. I'll buy like 50 grams of Haribo's, pack it in, I'm done. It's 200 calories. I'm happy. That's my binge, right? But I didn't know. I thought I had something wrong with me. And so I guess I want to touch on that as well. You're not weak, but yeah, the conditioning is strong. And if you can separate yourself from the conditioning, it allows you to see what's actually happening and how to actually solve it. So, hunger versus emotion. Let's learn the difference. Hunger builds gradually. You need a proper meal, protein, veggies, real food, and it stops when you're full. Who here is overeaten on apples? Not me.
Not yet.
Kiani's got
Not
it.
yet.
Overeating on apples, right? But it rarely fucking happens. How much easier is it for you to overeat on chocolate or fun food?
Yep.
Right?
Easy.
And you won't even notice. It'll just go. And you'll just go, how deep is this little void that I want to create today? And it tends to just snowball until you sleep, at least for me. So it stops when you're full. Emotional hunger is sudden and it's specific. It's chocolate, chips, Uber Eats, whatever you fancy. No judgment again. I'm a cheesecake gal and apparently a granola gal. So that's and pistachio cream. Those are my three. You put them in front of me, they're fucking, say it's a big nods. I don't know, but I think they put drugs in it. I'm literally convinced that they put something in there for sure. I don't honestly, I got zero. So I've had to pour water inside the jars because I'm like, this is not, no, we're not doing this. 1,000 calories down the drain. It feels urgent. It almost feels like there's an impulse. You have addictive with pretzels, absolutely. So it feels urgent. There's almost like a pressure inside you that you fucking have to. Otherwise, nothing's going to be okay. And it's this weird 15-minute window where you feel like this emotional pressure that you have to do it. Otherwise, you're unsafe. You're not good. And at least that's how it felt for me and a lot of my other gals. So it doesn't stop when full, and it comes with guilt after. I've never felt ashamed after eating an apple. Now, Kiani, I'm looking at you. Maybe you felt a bit ashamed after eating an apple because I think you've questioned whether or not you've overeaten on fruit before. So sorry to single you out. But I've never known anyone to go, oh no, I ate too much broccoli today. Like it's not something we've ever fucking done in our lives. So guilt usually, whether subtle or small, subtle or big, is usually something that precedes, your emotional binges and things. So this is a real thing, by the way. You know me, I'm not going to piss in your pocket ever. I'd rather have a hard conversation with you and be honest than lie. Mums do struggle more because you gals are like the front line for all the emotions. And for you, you take it on because it's normal. It's part of mum life. That's what you expect. The tears, the crying, all that sort of jazz. But because you're so used to just fucking walking with it and pushing it down and shoving it down, it just becomes very, very normal. But it's a big load to carry. You put everyone first. You tend to get zero silence. You run on caffeine and chaos most of the time. A lot of you gals are probably just a coffee and out the door before you came into the program. And then a nice binge eating scenario in the PM or a snack. Food becomes your break. Food becomes your reward. Comfort that creates long-term discomfort isn't comfort. It's like jumping in the program. Probably most of you have done short-term shit before, but it's short-term things to hopefully get to a long-term outcome.
Yep.
Always leaves us fatigued, tired. And we're going, hey, God damn, right? It's exhausting and it's demoralizing. So the pattern that keeps us stuck is trigger, emotion, eat, temporary relief, guilt. I'll start again Monday. Who's done I'll start again Mondays?
Yeah.
It was always a fun one. I'd run up the weekends. That was my best. I'd see how much damage I could do. And I'm like, okay, I wonder if I have nothing on Monday, if I can recover. Thinking that my metabolism was like 10,000 calories a day when it was like 3,000 on maintenance, I was like, no, she'll be right. My body will know it's okay, but never works that way. Repeat for 10 years. Problem isn't the food. It's using food to regulate your emotions. Okay. Now I want to reiterate this. You're not broken, but you are avoiding. Something that I had to face multiple times with multiple things. A lot of you gals know I have pedigree for addiction in my family. You name it. My parents were addicted to it. Passed it down. It's a really nice time. And so I had to go through solving all those problems and figuring out why I was doing these things. I did judge myself. A lie if I said I didn't judge myself, but I'd be so confused whether it was binge eating food and like literally having $60 of like chocolate and chips and like salty sweet. I used to alternate between salty sweet because I knew you could eat more that way. I'm seeing some nods. It's how competitive eaters actually eat more. They'll do salty and sweet and they'll alternate to reset the receptors to motivate you more so you can eat more food. I shit you not.
Hmm.
How they do it. It's crazy. And I used to tap into that because I'd go Doritos, chocolate, chewy, salty, sweet, and I'd fucking just, whatever was going, I'd try and maximize the binge, right? Maximize the dopamine. Okay, but emotional eating is emotional avoidance. Instead of setting boundaries, having hard conversation with your hubbies. I just had a call with a gal who, again, she didn't sign up to the program. She goes, my husband says no right now. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Why? Is he gonna take food off your table? No, but that's just how it is. We're wogs. He's the head of the house. I don't want to rock the boat. I'm afraid of rocking the boat. I don't know what's gonna happen. Right? It's a very, very common story for a lot of you gals. And sometimes you just need permission to subtly rock the boat and then rock it a little bit more and then make the rocking awesome so you get your way. However,
Mm.
another conversation for another time. But
Mm.
instead of boundaries, you eat. Instead of admitting you're overwhelmed, you eat. Numbs you for 10 minutes and the stress is still there, plus the extra weight. Who's gone through this exact cycle?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Right? And so I used to like this for Claire. This was a really good one. She's one of my emotional eating gals, and I love this because it just kind of allows me to feel things. It really unlocked a lot of doors for me with my emotions to be able to like sit with them. The idea of sit with them was I'd imagine, or not sit there and fucking meditate like I'm a rock, but I'd imagine the idea of I'm a rock on the bottom of a riverbed. I don't know if any of you guys have seen after a big rain coming down the mountains and it's like all muddy and it tends to flood and there's like a fucking log flying through and it's all brown and poo brown. It looks like crap, right? Eventually, that'll clear up. Eventually, you start to get to rainwater again and then clearer and clearer and clearer. If you imagine you're a rock on a river stream, all you need to do is sit there and not do anything. You got to let the muddy water pass. After it's 100% muddy, it'll go 70-30 muddy. Then it'll go 50-50. Then it'll be rainwater again. But if you move with it, not a good idea. Or you're trying to set up a dam and stop it, not a good idea. Best port of call is just chill, let it flow over you, wash over you, whatever it is. It could feel crap, it could feel uncomfortable, it could feel like the world's going to collapse. I guarantee it won't if you don't have a Snickers bar, right? But it's
Mm.
sitting with that and allowing those emotions to wash right through you and not judging them, not trying to hold them and fix them, not trying to make it mean anything, just letting it flow through you is a really, really good way to help you with that. So, the brutal truth. If every time you feel lonely, tired, angry, which we all do, me included, bored, overwhelmed, you eat, you'll stay stuck. No calorie target's going to fix that. No dietary program will fix that. No detox definitely won't fix that. You must fix the pattern. Okay. So, what do we do about it? Well, step one, pause. And my favorite question to always ask you gals is why? It's something that's helped a lot of you gals progress through the emotional stages of eating food. Why am I doing this? Is it my environment? Have I not eaten enough actually? Probably. And I didn't prioritize my food to even have a yogurt and fruit in the morning or a ham and cheese toasty. Did I not even tick the basic box? Cool. Then I know what it's about. Great. So I probably should just then have 200 or 300 calories, what I would normally have before I decide to binge. And then cool, I can get on with a regular meal. Bonus, I get to have 700 calories now instead of, 400 for dinner or whatever it is, right? Or is it the kids drive me up the wall? Or did I not go on my walk? For example, when I went to America for like 6 days, it was sub 6 degrees temperature. And I was so out of my own comfort zone over there because there was no gym. I remember I had to get an Uber to the gym. It cost me $150 to get breakfast and get an Uber to the gym, and the gym was closed. And I was like, fuck, I'm trying to keep a routine. I couldn't walk, nothing. I said, then naturally, my brain just wanted to escape. It was like, dude, just get some Uber Eats, whatever. Because I didn't have my normal walk in the morning, walk at night, things that decompress me. Yours is going to be different. But if you have something that helps, release the pressure valve a lot, it's a really good place to be, right? So are you avoiding something, overwhelmed, lonely, angry, procrastinating? Bring it to the surface. Try to understand what it's all about. Then ask, what am I actually feeling right now? And name it. Delay, 10 minutes, sit with it. Now, I put 10 minutes as a timer, but I believe, like in a relationship, sometimes you guys are going to have disagreements. Nut it out until you fucking solve it. Right? Is my approach. Everyone's different. No judgment. But for me, what I've found is talk about it until your fucking eyes bleed and you can put it down and you're both resolved. Same thing with
Mhm.
yourself. Sit with the emotion. If it feels like your world's going to implode, good. Let it, because nothing's going to happen. You're not going to die from feeling feelings. But if you sit with it and let it pass and let it just wash over you, it might take you 3 hours to solve at the start. It would take me 6 hours at times. Literally, I'd have to sit and be like, I really want to fucking eat. I really want to fucking eat. I really want to fucking eat. And I'd have to sit and just chin it and just chin it and chin it and chin it. And guess what? Next time, it took 3 hours. Then the next time,
Mhm.
it took two. And the next time, it took one. And then it was 30. And then it was 30. And now it's fucking nothing. Only time where I had fun was like I was in America. And that was the last time, probably in 5 years, where I've had a good crack. I had like two pancakes with like, eggs and steak for breakfast. It wasn't even crazy. But like for me, that was a big thing, right? So for you, it might be something different. But sitting with it, letting it pass is a really, really good way because it will just start to, it's like a muscle. Do enough bicep curls, it's going to come good. Okay. So choose consciously, decision, not reaction. That's a big one. Again, like I said, my planned cheesecake whenever I want it is always planned. It's not a reactionary thing. I plan it in. Maybe the pistachio gets me if I'm walking through some grocery aisles. Okay, that's the only one that might be not planned. I'll be honest, but the rest are planned. So what we want you to do is build emotional capacity. I love the idea, and Claire brought it up last night with me. She goes, Adriana, you told me one day that you wouldn't try and pour 2 liters of water into a 1.25 liter bottle, would you? No, because it doesn't have the fucking capacity to hold it. So why are you pouring more shit in your own bottle if you don't have the capacity to hold it? Now,
Mhm.
that might be hard to understand because you don't know your capacity right now, but that's why it pays to check in with yourself and understand. It's like, do I have the capacity to take on more? And that's when Claire said that story of like, I actually don't have the capacity right now. And if in 3 months we have to go on this holiday with other families, I'm going to feel socially drained and I know I'm just going to snap. So I've got to pull the plug. I've got to look after me right now
Mhm.
so then I can look after us for another year. Right? Sometimes you got to cut off your arm to let yourself free if you're drowning, sort of thing. So you can live to fight another day. Same sort of thing.
Mhm.
Okay. So you're allowed to feel uncomfortable. Super normal. It's going to be uncomfortable, right? You're allowed to feel stressed. You're allowed to feel frustrated. You can do all those things. They're permissible, not illegal. But you're not required to medicate it with food. I'm not saying that has to happen. One of the girls hopped on one of the calls Monday, won't say her name again. But she hopped on the call and she goes, look, I just like something sweet at the end of the day. I don't think I've got an emotional eating problem. I just like sweet at the end of the day. I go, fair enough. But I challenge it, why do you need sweet? Well, because I like it. Okay, why do you like it? Because your brain starts firing off dopamine and going, this is good. I like it. That's why we like sweet shit. Okay. It's not for really any other reason. She's like, I'm a walk. I like good food. Yeah, we all like good food. But again, like I said at the start, we're not overeating on apples typically. Shit
Mhm.
that's salty, sweet, tastes good, hearty, you know, right? And there's a big reason for that. Okay, there's a big reason. So you're not required to medicate with food. Discomfort won't kill you. Avoiding it though will kill your progress. Now, this is an uncomfortable one for a lot of you gals, but your kids are watching. And I hate feeling like it's a bit of a guilt trip scenario, but it's the truth. Feels weird
Mhm.
to say out loud, but they're learning. Do we eat when we're stressed, mum? Or do we solve problems? Now, I don't know if you've ever found in your household where your kid picked up something that you never thought that they saw. Probably. Where the fuck did they learn that? I thought I hid that. I thought they didn't know, but they know. There's like some weird, you hide some money under a couch, or like there's some thing that your husband did one time that they picked up that he swears up and down and they never saw it. Something really peculiar. You go, how the fuck? How did they get that? I was trying to hide that. God damn. I remember I used to find heaps of
Mhm.
my mum stuff, right? And I was like, what's these? Damn it. We're a fucking giant weed bag, in all honesty. But the way I was raised, where'd you get that? So you don't just change your body, you change the emotional pattern of your household. Okay. I am a massive believer, and I will back this to the day I die, that mums are the emotional leaders of the household. Some of you just don't take on that responsibility. You're the emotional captains of the ship. Can be a fucking amazing thing to be a part of and see a mum shining, present, happy. And one of the most powerful things you'll see also can be very destructive. And I'm not saying any
Mhm.
of you point any fingers, but it's just to place the power in your hands of where you guys want to go with that. Because it's true. I don't know if any of you guys imagine you track your calories, you do your walk, you do your thing. How much better do you show up as a lady? We're pretty fucking good,
Yep.
right? You know you've ticked the boxes. Pants start to feel a little bit better. Not muffin topping. You go, oh, shit. All right. Right? People pick up on that. Right? And so you have the ability to change the emotional pattern of your household if you see fit. Some of you today may not. Some of you might go, holy shit. Right. I understand. I'm aware of my power now. Great. Cool. I'm going to start getting 1% better at that. So standards over feelings. I used to be a dude in my mid-20s that it was about 20 emotional seasons in one day. I was so worried about where I was going to be, who I was going to do, what was going to happen, what I'd done in the past, and I was just neither coming nor going, and I was just lost in the present. There was no present Adriana, so I was so focused on future and past. Right? Feelings change hourly, but your standards don't, or at least they should not. Okay, they're real set things. And a standard might be, I don't use food to cope, or when I am stressed, I go for a walk, or in X, I do Y,
Mhm.
or whenever. For me, a big one is because I have to talk to multiple people all the time, right? If I have a client have a issue, whatever, I sit for 30 minutes and I try not to, if it's negative or positive or whatever, I try to sit with it and go, Adriana, chill out, take a 30-minute breather. Because it does happen, I'll fucking be super honest. 180 of us now, some people get disgruntled, you know? And so I have to sit with
Mhm.
that and go, okay, don't get defensive. Don't get mad. Don't get upset. You know you love them. You know how much you care. Chill out and approach this and think about what they have to think about. Think about their side as well. So that's stuff I have to do on my end, right? And so I can't run away and hide in food. I can't react. I've got to sit with them and go, okay, fair enough. What they're saying might be valid. That's their experience. Cool. Walk with it. Walk them through it, right? I have to take time with it. So that doesn't mean perfect though. It means aware and it means growth. If you can grow and focus on growing and your awareness, that's the starting point. Awareness is everything. If you don't know you got a problem, you don't know you don't have a problem. How many alcoholics have you met or people that drink every night, bottles of wine that say they're not alcoholics? I've met so many, I've
Mhm.
talked to so many. They're like, no, I don't got a problem. Well, you're drinking a bottle of wine every night, mate. Statistically, like by the numbers, that's an alcoholic after four. If you have more than four drinks, that's considered a binge drink, let alone alcoholic. I know that's shit. It's a pretty
Mhm.
low bar. Four drinks ain't much, but still, that's what they consider it, right? And so a lot of people are so deep in their denial, they don't even think they've got an issue, which is crazy. But if you can bring it to awareness, that's when you can solve it. That's when growth can sort of step in.
Mhm.
So there's some practical tools I want to give you guys. Now, some of them are going to be crap. I put drinking water just to say, something in there, but some are really good. So practical tools when the urge hits. Drink water. First one. I think that's the worst one, personally. Go outside for 5 minutes. Thanks, Michelle. I thought that was funny. Go outside for 5 minutes, or you can do a bit of a circuit breaker. 1 minute outside. Like, even if you're like, okay, the walls are closing in, the kids are screaming at me. Cool. 1 minute. Get the fuck out. Get some oxygen. Breathe. See, you have some fresh air in my face. Then come back in. Message the group, or message your coaches, or message me. You guys have an open line to me on Trainers. Flick me a message, whatever it is. I'm more than happy to give you my time. Brush your teeth. This is one that I think probably one of you out of here, I don't know who, but probably has done this trick. I've done this trick in the past. It didn't really work because then I just ended up with minty chocolate in my mouth. Didn't really get me very far. But the brush your teeth before you go and eat. So people are like, well, I brushed my teeth at 8 and I know I'm not going to eat beyond there. I broke that rule so many fucking times. I'm seeing something you just go, yep, 100%. Yeah, it was just minty chocolate and minty Haribo gummies. It was wild. Don't know why I did it to myself. Eat a proper protein-based meal. Some of your hunger is going to be structural. I didn't eat. Some of your emotional eating is going to be both. Didn't eat and I'm emotional. Some of it's just going to be purely emotional. There is some crossover, believe it or not. It's a big reason why we have the success we have because we try and get you guys to like either getting a piece of fruit or something to dull the sharpness from when you ignore breakfast. Because when you
Mhm.
just have a coffee and you're out the door, oh, it's a pretty bad recipe. But if you have a coffee and a piece of fruit, it's okay. It's not perfect, but if you have a coffee and a piece of fruit and a yogurt, usually you're pretty good. At least you'll be like 90% safe, right? But just coffee, you're
Mhm.
like 10% safe, right? Journal one page is a big one. So I find, at least when I journaled, I don't anymore, but when I journaled, it would be a reflective process. It wasn't a judgmental. Not, I am a piece of shit for eating bad food or I'm a failure again. I usually be like, well, what happened? Yeah, I'll sit down and take some time and analyze. That really helped me. So even if it's a one pager or just a sentence to bring that awareness forward, pretty good strategy. Most emotional eating happens when you're underfed and overstressed. I cannot stress this enough. A lot of people think they have binge eating. And yes, there's probably some people, and myself again, but it was from poor structure as well. So yeah, you probably had the emotional eating side, but you exacerbated it with shit structure.
Mm.
Yeah. So you're going to want to fix both. It's not going to be an overnight journey. It's not going to be an overnight success. It took me a fair whack of time. Mind you, I probably came from a bigger deficit from you guys in terms of substances and all that stuff in my mid-20s. It took me a lot of therapy and a lot of years to work through. I'm not even going to bullshit you guys right now. It took me a lot of time. But the binge eating was the first thing to go for me, typically. That was the first thing where I got some consistency and runs on the board. The rest were a bit harder, a bit nastier in terms of side effects and everything else too. But once you work with that sitting with the emotions, it's solvable. It just might not be solved on your timeline, the timeline that you love.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's the problem. When we force a timeline, you're trying to force an outcome like you forced and controlled everything else. Learning how to sit with your emotions isn't about control. It's not, I want to feel X. It's, I'm accepting and I'm okay with X. I feel like shit. Cool. It's all right. Like when I wake up and there's 1,000 bushfires from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to bed, I wake up and I was like, panic. Someone's unhappy with me. Or fuck, I missed a call. Or fuck, staff reached out to me and I'm fucking weak down. If I had a panic every time, that I just wouldn't get anything done.
Mm.
I have to let that shit wash over me. And the same thing with you gals. There's going to be always bushfires to put out as a mum. One thing I've learned about you,
Mm.
there's always going to be a bushfire to put out. Always something wrong. Always something broken. But if you're like, okay, cool, things are going to break. That's an expectation. Part of being a mum. It's going to happen. Kids are going to get sick. Little Timmy's going to break a leg. Something like that's going to happen. Okay. So, final point. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You definitely don't need more restriction. You need emotional discipline. Feel everything, handle it, and stop self-sabotaging. And that is my presentation for today. Gals, I'm going to either start picking you off like flies, or you can hand up, speak about, just give me one thing that stood out to you. That's all I want. Try to keep it concise because we've hit about 30 minutes and there's about 10, 15 of us. But go for gold. Elizabeth, I saw you put your hand up. Go for gold.
Um, Emotional eating is really a hard one for me.
Yeah.
I guess I grew up that being cared for was food.
Mm,
Oh, you got your period. Here's a block of chocolate. Oh, you're not feeling well. Or you don't. Here's some pasta. Um, it was everything that instead of actual care, it was here's food to numb your pain.
mm,
And I'm 40 and I'm still doing it. And it's only taken me from being in the program with you to actually understand it.
mm,
I'm doing therapy as well as being on the program. I'm doing it with a therapist, and there was times where I she was asking me to like visualize yourself as a child, and I
mm.
couldn't do it because I'd break down crying because I realized, oh, that's why I'm eating because it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, it's not going to happen if you put a timeline on it. I mean, I thought, yeah, in 6 months I'll be like lose 25 kilos. I can't lose 25 kilos in 6 months. If it's taking me 25 years to put on 25 kilos,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
100%. And that's an emotional marathon as well, too.
Mm,
And like the goal of the program is to fix it for good, not to fix it for a while. Always been my
mm,
stance, right? And so if you want to fix it once, you can do a fucking bang up job. But if you do really focus all your energy on fixing it once and doing it once, you'll never have to pick it up again, mate. I genuinely do not stress about my weight. I want to get like really, really lean. Everyone's going, Adriana, you don't need to get that. The most people are like, you look great. I'm like, I don't care. For me, it's for me, my goal. But I haven't had any of those issues for a very, very long time, purely because I spent so long dealing with it. It took me, I sat down with my coach. We set a 3-year goal to lose 20 kilos
mm,
together when I was 120, I think, during the COVID times or whatever. In the first year, I lost 10 kilos, but I was so stoked that I did that because I was more consistent. Me, been a
yep.
coach since I was 19, since I had hair, man. So it'll take time. It might be sooner, it might be later. But it's like all I care about is the objective of solving it. That's it. And then
Mm,
it'll unlock freedom for the rest of your fucking life. I shit you not. Because a lot of the girls who are at that later stages now were in their maintenance phases or they're learning how to sit with their new body. They're learning how to do that phase. They're loving it, mate. They can finally eat more food and maintain their weight. There's none of this shit. And they get the fun part.
mm.
I can get more food, finally. I'm energized. I'm more confident and I can eat more. Fuck yeah. It's finally the good destination. So I love that, man. Cool. Rock and roll.
So,
Gals, anybody else want to share? Put your hand up or unmute. Danny B's looking like she's trying to have a crack. There we go.
Yep.
How are you, sister?
Um, Hi, good. So I actually had a moment at the beginning of the week, because I was going through the school and catching up with the
Yes, you
videos
reached
and
out
all
to me,
that kind of
didn't
jazz.
you?
Yep, I'd fallen behind. And the first one was actually emotional eating. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's not me. Like, I don't binge when I'm stressed, or I don't do that. And then I was like, oh, I just got to watch it so I can tick the box and whatever. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah,
I just had
watched.
this epiphany
Totally
and I
watched
was,
it.
yeah. I was like, watch, but like within the first 10 seconds, I was like, oh my God, this is actually me. Like
Yeah,
I didn't think I was an emotional eater,
yeah.
but it's like that overwhelmingness where like the house is noisy, and
Mm.
like like just, dishwashers on, kids are talking or whatever, that if there was like we had freaking jam drops in the house over the past week and I couldn't resist. Like I was picking it up and eating it because the house was noisy and
There you
I
go.
just
That's
felt
the
like that was
why.
something that I could control. Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's where I was kind of like, shit, I think that is actually emotional eating.
Yeah.
Because previously, when I wasn't overwhelmed, I could walk past the jam drops and be fine. So yeah, I did have a huge shift, and the apple thing, and it's funny because the jam drops are right next to the freaking fruit basket with the apples. And like after I watched the video, I was like, okay, you're overwhelmed. Pick up the apple. And I never once picked up the apple because I wasn't
You
hungry.
never fucking do, mate. You never do.
I never did it. I wasn't hungry. I was
Yeah,
just eating them because
yeah,
I don't even know.
yeah.
It took me a while to get to that though, because I did reach out to Isabel and was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm exceeding my calories every day. And
Mm.
she's like, what do you think it is? I was like, I don't know. So I was like, let's get into the school and watch the videos because you don't know what you don't know. And then that's
For
when I
sure.
was like, oh, okay. Now I'm getting the education and it hit me hard.
It's why I put that curriculum in there as well. A lot of people, it's like
Yeah,
I know a lot of people don't watch it,
makes
but the
sense.
reason why I put a really good bangers in there for you because I know exactly what you guys are going to go, like what you're going to go through and what you're currently going through as well. So I appreciate you watching.
Yeah,
I appreciate the insight, man. But yeah, good on you
yeah.
as well. Shining the light on it of why it's such a powerful question, but it's so it's so underrated. Of like, oh, why? Yeah, I'm overwhelmed at home. Huh. Okay. Right. I can actually do something about it for once. Cool. Love it.
Mm.
Awesome. Demi, good to see you on, sweet lady. Anything?
hello.
Hello.
Hi. Um, yeah, definitely underfed
Yeah.
and bored. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So I mean, just going off we had a 2-day gastro thing just at home. And now getting back into it today, I just found myself just wanting to, obviously I'm ravenous
Yeah.
because I haven't eaten anything and there was no structure. It was just go for gold, go for anything I wanted. Um, because yeah, I had no structure. I was like hungry, but also just bored. Um, and didn't really think about like, okay, let's prioritize getting good food back into you before you just go for anything you want.
Mm.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely underfed. You just make choices um in the moment. Like you
Yeah.
don't actually like since joining, I'm only 3 weeks in, but if I know I'm going out or meeting a friend with my son, I make sure I have my breakfast beforehand if there is going to be a treat, and then I can factor that in
Yeah. Same
without
here, man.
feeling the guilt of it, but knowing that protein's probably going to make me feel fuller, considering
Yeah.
there might be a sweet treat involved.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
yeah, definitely the underfed
Yeah.
is
It's a
the
big
thing that
one.
makes you want more because you're going back for the sugar, you're going back for the craving,
Yeah.
and then you're just going to keep going back for the craving and keep going back for more.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I had the same thing happen when I had to cut the circuitry on I used to like finishing the day on a sweet. So I'd have like a 35 gram
Mm.
lid. And I was like, ah, I love my sweet at the end of the day. I factored in my calories and all. But then I started taking the piss a little bit. My brain started going,
Yeah,
what if we do
yeah,
what if we do two 35 gram blocks? And what if we do two and a
yeah.
small 30-gram thing of Haribos? And what if we eat less in the day and
Mm,
factor in even more sweet? And then it just goes, right?
yeah. And
If
even
you're aware of
like
it,
Danny said before, she messaged Isabel, and I said even just like your period week, for instance, like
yeah.
you want to eat more anyway. So
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
why am I wanting more? Why am I, and where can
Mm,
I cater to it? And she suggested even just magnesium and helping with those cravings and
mm,
helping with the blood sugar levels, and that's something that I didn't really consider
mm.
that would help with that.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah.
Typically, I find after you've starved yourself or had some gastro, it's good to just start with a really big, hearty, high volume meal and something that's like
Yeah,
low glycemic
we did
index.
I did a slow cook meal with some pumpkin and potatoes last night
Perfect.
and slow cooked beef.
Perfect. I would like
And
ram
that
like,
was the
yeah.
first, as much as I did the beef and egg bake that you guys had put in the recipe pack for
Mm,
February. I don't know, my volume came up really low. I had that and I was like, oh yep, that's breakfast. And I was like, that is not gonna do. And I just went straight for the bowl of
yeah.
beef, potatoes, and pumpkin.
Yeah.
And that was the best thing I could have
Good.
had for breakfast. It felt
Good.
so good.
I'm more than happy for you gals to make up calories in those instances from Whole Foods.
Mm,
Like I'd much
yeah,
rather you even go over calories on Whole Foods, not fit in 500 calories and then all of a sudden the PM you go over on Whole Foods, but
yeah,
genuinely actually go over. Because I've had some people go, "Oh, Adrian, I ate responsibly. I checked their fucking food diet. They had fish and chips to make up the calories." I'm like, "That's fucking, what are we doing?
that's
What are
not,
we
yeah.
playing, right?" But if it's genuine whole food, I'm really happy with you guys to, as I've always said, go over on fruit, ram it. That'll set you up for
Mm,
success a lot more than just trying to fill the void or make up for the deficit that's harsh, but with like fun stuff. Because then it's just you're
mm.
in that little cycle. So love it, man. Miss Michelle, Spadafora, rock and roll.
Hello. Yeah, so similar to I think Elizabeth, I grew up in a household where my mum's love language is through food, and you're always taught that you don't throw food out. And I used to notice that, and sometimes I even do it now when I get my youngest one's breakfast ready. He doesn't like crust, and I'm cutting the crust off, and I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, shit. I'm like, nah, I'm throwing it out. And I feel guilty. But I'm like, no, I'm not eating it. But I didn't think, up until I think right now, I didn't think I was an emotional eater. And I don't know if I am, because
Mm,
when I am stressed, I tend to not eat.
mm,
So I don't know whether it's subconsciously maybe punishing myself where I just won't eat.
yeah,
And then it come to probably dinner time and stuff. Obviously, I'm starving. And not that I would like binge on bad food, but probably my portions will obviously be bigger because I haven't eaten
of course,
pretty much most of the day.
of
And
course.
up until I started your program, it was the same. Like I would probably maybe have a fruit and a coffee for breakfast, maybe a muesli bar for lunch because a lot of the time I'm like with clients. And then come dinner time, again, it might not necessarily be bad food, but it was the portion of what I was eating.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, so I probably am, I guess. And I
yeah,
noticed that I started that too on the weekend. So on the weekend, I don't know what happened to me, but I just went through this cleaning frenzy. So I'd have breakfast, and then I'd probably, because I was cleaning for a couple of hours, I'd miss my lunch, and it came to like 3 o'clock, and I'm like, oh shit. And then, we were catching up with family for dinner, but I managed to have like something small. But I noticed that I was getting back into that pattern. Um, and so yeah,
yeah. Look,
it's
a
just
lot of people think it's like the emotional eating isn't at that point, but it's later, right? And
yeah.
so whilst it's not
I think
emotional eating in the instance, it happens eventually through this structure, underfed,
yeah,
overstressed. And
because when
because there's
I think
yeah, you go, sorry.
picture emotional eating, it's like just sitting on the couch and binging
Yeah,
on
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
chips, chocolate, all this shit,
Yeah.
like soft drink, you name it.
Yep.
But now I think it's hit me. It's not necessarily that, I mean, yeah, that can be part of it. But for someone, say like myself, it's probably, yes, starving yourself, getting to a point where you're that hungry and what you're eating might not necessarily be bad, but it's the portion because you're that hungry, you're like eating too much, like you're overeating.
Mm. Yeah. And and again, it's a bit more subtle, but it's accurate,
Yeah.
right? Overeating, emotional eating. Could you sit down and have a smaller portion and feel satiated? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it's the excess that is the emotional part. It's
Yeah.
not the standard sort of, am I eating because I'm hungry? Yeah, of course I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. But it's the overeating, that is the emotional part, right? When in
Yeah.
normal circumstances, you'd eat a regular meal. But in the times where you
Yeah.
feel stressed or push, or maybe you've underfed yourself and there's a bit of stress and push, it's just a bit delayed. Yeah, I'd say so. And
Yeah.
again, mate, I always approach life with a bit of a playful curiosity. When somebody gives me some sort of feedback, I'd have it with, it could be negative feedback from the program, like whatever. I go, okay, maybe there's space for that to be true, right?
Yeah.
I always like to approach things with a nice playful curiosity of, okay. And if it's true, is there things that would suggest that maybe it's true? Maybe entertain it for a little bit, but playfully, safely. Not a sign I am an emotional eater. I have to be this way, sure. But if you have this nice playful attitude of that could be the case, and maybe let me look for some reasons as to why it could be and why it could not be. And if there's probably
Yeah.
more reasons as to why it's not, you're probably pretty safe. But if there's definitely some strong reasons, it pays to just be open to that being possible because then you can solve your problems faster, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Love
And
it.
I think also what hits hard too is like when you said like your kids are watching you, and it's so true. But you know, being European, you get the grandparents, especially like with my teenage son. Oh, but he's a growing boy. He's
Mhm.
growing. He needs to eat, and
Awesome.
and I'm like, yeah, he does, but again, portion. Like he doesn't have to have 5 pieces of
Dude, I
pizzas
had
or
puppy fat when I was 16, apparently. I was a 6 foot tall kid. I was 110 kilos. I was like, okay, mum, when's this fucking puppy fat gonna go, dude? When's this? I was fat as
Well, see,
shit,
my
right?
son is like getting it, and that's what I'm worried about. And like
Yeah.
he's starting to calorie count, and I'm like, you shouldn't like. I've got people saying he shouldn't have to. I mean, he's done it on his own accord. Like I did not
Mm.
push him. He probably started before I did. But and they're like, he shouldn't calorie count. Like he's growing. He's going to the gym. He does sports. He does it. And I'm like, it's got nothing to
It
do.
may,
Like,
to be honest, you want my take? I think it's not a bad thing, mate. If I got taught the right way how to calorie count,
yeah,
I did restrictive diets and all sorts of bullshit when I was 16. I
yeah,
was trained like a demon, bottom out your food. I hated it. But when I found calorie counting, I actually realized, oh, I can actually fit in some fun stuff without being a bad person, actually get in decent shape. Helped me quite a lot. And if it's the right tool used in the right way, it can be amazing.
yeah,
If he's a young boy trying to be better, as long as it comes from a place of trying to be better and excellent, it's usually pretty healthy. It just depends on how he's interacting it. If he's going, Mom, I'm fat as shit and fucking da 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 da, probably not ideal, I'd say so. But if he's doing it just to be better, it's great. You wouldn't be mad if he tracked his finances and tried to save money,
yeah.
right?
No, not at all. Yeah,
Exactly. And so it depends on how some people look at it. Either way, I'm not saying which way is wrong or right, but I'd say if he's doing it in a healthy way, it might not be too bad.
yeah.
Keep some space open for it to be true or not true. Either way.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
Because I think the last thing we want as parents is, I think, obviously, because some of us have had issues with,
Mm.
obviously, eating and dieting when we were young. Like, I don't want that for my kids. So
Awesome.
if they can learn the proper way now, so then when they become adults, young adults, they do it in a healthy way.
Yeah, imagine if you taught him how to use calorie counting in a healthy way so he can be like elite. Not that he
Yeah,
forced to because he wasn't good enough, but because he just wanted to be better, because he wanted to be best. It's a good thing for a young fella to want.
yeah,
I wanted to be the best, but had no rhyme or reason to get there. So I was just a bull at a gate at fucking good things and bad things, right? And
yeah,
for better or for worse, it worked out all right, luckily. But I didn't have anyone guiding me or holding my hand or going, Adriano, you should probably do this. I had to just like fucking stuck in a field with a shitload of motivation and trying to figure it out on my own. So if he's got a mum like you, I'd say you'd be able to steer him in a good direction at least. So love it. Kiani, what you got for me, sister? We'll get there, mate. Don't worry. It's okay.
It's okay. I think I'm the opposite to Elizabeth. With the family, I grew up in a family where it was very whole foods, very health conscious. Um,
Interesting.
And I think what happened for me was the opposite. So when I got to my sort of 30s and I had, 10 and 12-year-olds that wanted McDonald's and this and that, I kind of went the opposite. And I was like, oh, wow, look what I've been missing out on my whole life.
Yeah, a
And
whole
that's
new
when I
world.
started to. So, yeah, so
Yeah,
I had the opposite. Yeah.
yeah, killer. And is that what sort
Um,
of stood out for you most about that? Was it just the general journey of you having the opposite? That's an interesting perspective. It's good to hear.
yeah, I think because I never really had those foods. Like we
Mm,
might have had Macca's maybe once or twice, maybe,
mm,
a year.
mm.
I think just having very health focused parents. Um, and I think that has with the emotional eating, I need to work on my decision, not my reaction. So I think now when I emotional eat, it is,
Love it.
I went without that.
Love it.
Why should I? I should be able to enjoy that. Yeah.
Love it. Cool, man. Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Kylie, what you got for me? Good to see you on, sister.
Hi.
What'd you take from that?
Um, I'm probably that person who is the I need to have something sweet at the end of the night person.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you said that, I'm like, that's all I do is try and stick to my plan. And all I think about is the end game that
Mm.
can't wait till I get to dessert. And then what am I going to choose? And then I make it even more complicated for myself because then I have like 5 different options and I'm like, but which one do I want? So
Kind of
that's
fun game to play
probably,
sometimes, if you can make it
oh,
work.
it's not.
No,
No,
no.
I got those Mars bar ice creams in there. I got Wheat bars in there. I got paddle pops in there. I've just got ice blocks in there. Those twin pole things that have got 44 calories. So if I want,
That sounds pretty
uh,
fun, man. I'll be honest.
I was like curly whirly, and the other one is like 144 calories. So I can have them, or I can have a chomp. Do I want the chomp? Do I want the ice block? It goes on and on and on. And sometimes I'll just go brush my teeth and go to bed. So I don't eat after I brush my teeth.
Okay.
I'm big on that.
Stronger than I, my
Um,
friend.
you get the one with the little mint breath things in there, and then you stay minty for ages. So then, but yeah, I think I could probably go all day with all my trauma on everything, and I could probably um, you know, relate to a lot of the ladies said. Like, I say with Kiani, my parents didn't really give us a lot of food. We didn't have a lot of money, so we never did the like Macca's very often. So Macca's was a massive treat. So we ate a lot of good food. And then when I got older, I was like, oh, look what I can get. I got my own money and I can do whatever I want now. So didn't know about the sugar and sweet thing. I think that not knowing that's what I used to do, eat chocolate and chips of an afternoon,
Yeah,
and that's how I got to my heaviest. So that was an interesting one.
hang on.
And I think the only other thing that I could relate to as well is what you said, and it's quite interesting, is like I used to drink 4 glasses of wine. I didn't realize I didn't label myself an alcoholic.
Mm.
I used it as a coping mechanism for stress at work. But then I did identify this is not healthy. I can't keep doing this. And then I made the informed decision to cut it out during the week and then only drink on weekends. So I didn't cut it
Mm.
out. I just only drank on weekends and still do. So I'm working on minimizing that, like trying to make it every second weekend and stuff like that. But that was interesting that, I don't even see myself as an alcoholic. And I think it's like, what's that word where you say you've got oh shit, I was thinking of it before, an addictive personality.
Yeah.
So, so now I don't have the alcohol every day. It's the sweet thing of the every day, and now it's the sweet thing of a nighttime because I'm doing the program. But it was a sweet thing all the time, every day. So
Gotcha. Makes sense though, right? When you think about it. It's like, oh, how do
yeah,
you
she's a
switch
little
one
lot
thing
of
for the
bit.
other?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of fucked upness up there that you're trying to iron out for me.
We can chew on it for a bit. We can chew on the fat for a bit, mate. We're good. I got you. Killer. Maria, good to have you in, sweet lady.
Hi.
What did you take from that? I know you're fairly new,
Uh,
obviously, so welcome into one
uh,
of your first, I believe. But good to see you on. And did you take anything away? I saw a lot of nods, things in there.
well, I thought Michelle was living in my house. Like I so related to Michelle. The love language of food, my mum, like, yeah, portions, like today, for an example, I was in the salon And by the time I got upstairs, it was like 4 o'clock. And this morning I'd had my good breakfast, my protein, my eggs, my coffee. And this morning I thought, you know what, I'm going to treat myself to one piece of toast with my eggs, because I knew it was going to be a big day at work. And I came upstairs and I was ravenous, and I thought, what can I eat? And I remember saying to my husband last night, can you just cook a piece of chicken for me? Because I think I'll have that for lunch tomorrow. And I always have a bag of salad in the fridge now because I looked at your videos.
Yep.
And I ate that. And I was like, oh, this is easy. I can do this. But then tonight for dinner, because I don't like to cook different meals, we did and it's Lent. So I was like, we all have to have fish tonight. So of course I made everybody eat this Thai fish, and my kids and my husband are looking at me. I'm like, how is it? And they're like, yeah, it's all right. They hated it. So I feel bad that I'm putting myself first, saying, okay, now you guys have got to eat what I'm eating, because I'm not cooking another meal, because food's my love language, and I just want to make everyone happy.
Of course, man.
And my mother she just kept feeding us, and it was good food, but it was the amount of food. Whereas now everyone's watching me, weigh out my fish, and
Good stuff.
measure my rice, how much I'm allowed
Great.
to have.
Great.
Like they're all on the bandwagon. I feel bad, but I'm like, I've got to look after me now.
How many of you gals, just quickly, how many of you gals felt bad in similar situations? Pretty common, I'd imagine. Yeah, I'm seeing like pretty much every hand go up. So I'm here to tell you now, feeling bad is probably part of the reason why we got to this mess, because we put ourselves behind so much. So it is very common. It's not a bad thing to feel bad. Very normal. All the gals here that have lost shitloads of weight and feel better and love what they're doing felt bad. So I'm here to tell you it is not not atypical. It's very common, mate. So it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah,
Feel it
because they're
out.
like,
Walk with it.
yeah, yeah, yes.
Cool. Rock and roll, sister. Love
Thank
it.
you. Yeah.
Sahar, how are you, sweet lady? Anything jump out at you, my friend? And then Renata, you're up
Hi.
next.
Yes, of course. All of the information was really great. Walking is a big thing for me now. But just very quickly, when I hit puberty, I put on a lot of weight, and there was a lot of glares and a lot of funny looks and all of that. So very quickly, I learnt to skip meals and not eat in front of people, because it was so embarrassing to be so big suddenly from being something so little, so skinny, and then suddenly putting on weight. So very quickly I learned to hide what I'm eating, and that kind of escalated to eating in the car before I go inside the house, or hiding my food, or not eating in front of friends, but then afterwards binging because everyone else was so skinny and beautiful, and here I was like this chubby girl. So now being in this program, I've learned to eat again, and I can't tell you
Oh,
how wonderful that is. And
mate, that's
eating
amazing.
protein is just the way to go, because as soon as I eat a good meal, then I know how to control myself. And I think
Yeah.
that's really big for me.
Yeah, man, the structured stuff, right? Sometimes it's
Yep,
like we feel like we've got a problem, and yeah, we do, but sometimes we exacerbate it because we don't know any better. So it sounds like you're really taking it in your stride.
exactly.
So love that,
So
man.
and I joined on the 17th of December, and chips was a really big thing for me. For this whole 2 months, I've not once wanted to go for a packet of chips.
Awesome. Love it, man. Good stuff. That's killer. Who else we got? Renata exited. Michelle or Sonia? I can see you guys are there, but you blanked out. You guys are lucky last because you've got your cameras off. I usually pick you gals last. So if you want to get picked first, feel free to unmute. Sonia,
Hi.
there you go. Rock and roll, sister. How you doing?
Um, I am one of those that likes to eat sweet things at the end of the
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Um, I was in this what I thought it was a healthy habit of having some yogurt and granola and fruit at the end of the day,
Mm.
a big bowl. Um, and now I realize that I cannot. I was eating like for 2 or 3 people with all of the amount of yogurt and fruit and
Yeah.
everything I was eating apart from dessert. Um, so once I have started actually counting properly how much I'm eating, I have just realized why I ended up where I am.
Yeah.
Apart from being at work where there's always a sweet treat and everyone brings cake or cookies or whatever, so that having that strength to not try to eat any of those things sometimes is hard.
Mhm.
But since actually committing and started the program, I I just haven't felt like picking on those sweet treats, or at night I do measure the yogurt and make sure that it's still within the calories that I am what my target is. So it's feels so much better. And yeah, I just realized why I ended up where I
Yeah.
am,
It's
where
the
I
tip of the
was. Yeah.
it's the tip of the iceberg, my friend. So you welcome in,
Yeah.
right? You'll start to learn it. You'll start as you start to scratch on, okay, that's the structure. That's the actual
Mm,
quantity of food and what I actually ate that got me here. And then it's about uncovering the rest, right? So it's a
yeah.
good start. I'm glad you've look, granola's my weakness too, my friend. So that caught me off guard so many times. It kept me out of a deficit many, many weeks in a row. So you're not alone.
Mm,
It's usually the easiest thing to go over on. I'd have seven
yeah.
grams and pretend it was bloody 30 2 times a day.
Mm,
So yeah, you're definitely not alone. It's a cheeky little temptress, the old granola. I can know.
mm,
Never would have thought my life would be undone for the week from granola, but appreciate you sharing. Thanks, man.
yeah.
Gals, before we tap out, any questions? I know it's been a long one, so I appreciate your patience on that. I can see a lot of dead stares into nothing, so thanks for staying on. But no other questions. Kylie's got one. Rock and roll.
Can
Gals,
I
if you
just
need to
ask
hop
the
off, you
group a
feel free to hop
question?
off if you want to. But Kylie, rock and roll.
Just a quick question about
Good
like
question.
just how I feel and just if the girls don't mind, like maybe putting their hands if they stay,
Yeah.
is do you ever just look at a skinny person and think, how the fuck do you just like not like have an obsession with food and just get to be skinny and not have these fat people problems? And why am I so obsessed with food and can't get it together? Does anybody ever think that when they see skinny people?
Comparison. I'm sure everybody
Uh,
probably here has at some stage felt that way.
yeah, yeah.
Here we go.
And my
Maria's in.
Tell me, Maria.
yes, but my problem
When
is
I
that
oh,
oh, which
You're
yeah,
right.
Maria?
Maria,
Because
that's all
there
right.
might
You
be.
go.
You
No,
go,
my
Maria.
problem is that I love food too much, and I know I just love food too much. So I know I savor it, and I sometimes I feel sorry for those. I want to call them skinny bitches because I think, do you eat? Do you eat? Come to my house and I'll feed you. Then you'll love food. Do you know what I mean? So yes, I see it all the time. I Yes, I feel that way too.
Yeah.
Demi?
I wouldn't say it for the girls, but when I look at my partner, he just eats whatever he wants. And I've joked about, I was like, must be nice that you can just scoff your face with whatever you want. You don't feel guilty, and yet you look how you look. Like it, yeah. I'm just so envious of that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, guys are different to girls, but
That's a
yeah.
good word. Envious.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yes.
probably, let's be honest. Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
two-parter thing that I want to add to that, right? I have a lot of, when I used to coach guys, a lot of them were like, well, like, I have, it's a metabolism, again, Elizabeth's like a metabolism problem, right? So, a couple of things, two-part. If you replace I love food with I love dopamine, you're probably
Mm,
going to get a pretty good fucking answer to your question, right? I love
mm.
food, I love dopamine. Okay. One of my gals,
Go
I was
hand in
pretty,
hand.
I was always pretty embarrassed when I said this live on camera. But she's like, I love a sweet. I love the way it tastes. And I was like, I used to really like how drugs tasted. And drugs were not right for me. But it
Mm,
created a contrast, right? Of just because you
mm,
like it doesn't mean it's something that you should bloody do. Right.
mm,
Yeah.
And just because we love it doesn't mean it's beneficial for us. And so the minute I started understanding that me loving food, and I wasn't the king of having bad food, I would just have a lot of it. Sometimes it'd be bad, sometimes not good. But when I replaced I love food with, oh, I'm actually probably like the dopamine surge that food gives me, I went, oh, shit. Then I started having a look at all the foods that were dopaminergic and the salty, sweet, pastas, whatever. And I go, oh, right. Yeah, I don't get a huge dopamine hit from an apple or a steak, maybe a big, thick,
mm,
whatever. But it's like when I started really looking at, oh, that's why it's more of an actual neurotransmitter thing that I'm actually chasing. It helped uncover. It might not be the whole thing as well. Second part to what you were saying, Kylie, as well, is that once you hit maintenance, you can eat a shitload more and not gain a single kilo. It's just when you're forever dieting, you probably don't think of all the times you ate and then maintained your weight or had a shitload of food, right? You probably don't think about how it is to maintain the current weight, right? You can eat a lot more food. My gal Beth, who got down to 55 kilos, we were dieting on 11 to 1200 to at that end point. She's now eating 2000 a day, hasn't gained a kilo. Claire was dieting on 14 to 12 to 14. She's now dieting on 18 and she hasn't gained a kilo. She even had like a big blowout over the weekend. She goes, yeah, look, I'm still managing it. That's why we do the back end coaching thing to make sure we can manage those blowouts too without letting the blowout be a steamroll. But you can eat a lot more. And so usually guys, they'll have this where a lot of guys will come in, look, man, I eat whatever I want. I don't gain weight. I'm like, no, you can just eat more because you're maintaining. And so these people are just skinny, but they're good at maintaining. So they can eat 2000. Whereas you, wherever you might have been, Kylie, let's say, I don't fucking know. Let's just say example, 100 kilos, whatever, versus 70 kilos. Your maintenance is roughly going to be kind of similar. I know, kind of hard to
Yeah.
understand. Your maintenance at 70 might be 2000, but your maintenance at 100 might be 2005, babe, or 2004.
Mm.
Not like
Yeah.
that is not a lot of food. 400 calories, like I know we like, some of us have 400 calories in a meal, but like when you really think about it, it's not a shitload unless you make it a shitload. I could, it's half a family block of chocolate. That's gone. Bye. But when we
Yeah.
think about it, we go, how do they nail it? Well, one, they're probably in maintenance for a really long time. And so they're just so used to eating that much food, right? Plus, it is easier to take off a kilo once you've gained a kilo versus trying to perpetually take off 30.
Yeah.
Fucking hard to take off 30. And you feel
Yeah.
more defeated because you're just like, ah. But if you were fucking 70 kilos, dude, and you tried to get rid of two, how quick would you lose two? You go, look, I'll eat a bit more responsibly, the two will come off. Problem solved. But when you're trying to lose 20 or 30, it's a different game. And so there is good news. You will get to that point, but you got to earn it almost to get to that point, and then you get the treats. Then you get the freedom of
Yeah.
going, oh, fuck, thank God, I don't have to lose 2 kilos now. I don't have to lose 30 perpetually for 10 years, you know? So I hear
Yeah.
you 100%. I guess I wanted to create a bit of educational gap in there that it's like, we go, they must have good metabolisms. After coaching for 15 years, I am here to tell you that 99.999% of people's metabolism is exactly the same. Pretty
Right.
fucking similar. All that
Yeah.
changes, they've even done studies on metabolism pre and post menopause. I shit you not. The time where everyone comes in and goes, that is Adriano, that is my number one problem. I always go, cool, noted, heard it, but okay, whatever. I'm just gonna, I know how to get your weight loss anyway, but I'm gonna say yes, cool, aware. I don't challenge it because that challenges people's belief about how weight loss is, and my job isn't to do that. My job is to go, come here, little friend, it's okay, right, and get them a result anyway. But right, for them, it's like there's actually no significant difference between your metabolism from age 20 to 65. None. If everything else is kept equal. The only things that impact
Okay.
you is steps, movement, incidental exercise. You might not have been aware of your leg tapping, you doing involuntary hand movements habitually, whatever. Your body keeping itself alive, your brain functioning, all that sort of stuff. If you account for all that in calories, nothing changes. No. Maybe a 200 calorie variation, maybe with a genetic freak, a 400 calorie a day thing. Maybe as an outlier. Like I'm talking like maybe Olympic level athlete human. That is genetic freak that I'm not, we aren't, right? But that's the only time. And so it just puts more emphasis on actually the stability of our habits and what we do every day. Because then it's actually within our control, which is, I find a lot of satisfaction in that. Yeah. So anyway, thought I'd just highlight that. Gals, any other questions?
Can I just ask one quick question?
Go for it.
This is my second week on
Yeah.
the program, right?
Yeah.
And tomorrow we're going to celebrate a birthday lunch, and
Cool.
I am absolutely petrified.
Cool.
We're going to a Lebanese restaurant in the city,
Great.
and I am petrified of what to eat. Because I don't want to. I've had so much success in my first week
Yeah.
that I just want to keep going. And then on Saturday night, we were asked to go out to dinner again. And I don't want to say no because it will impact on the family if I keep saying no, 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 no. And that's an Italian restaurant. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? Like, I am beside myself.
Yeah.
That I
So
was like, I've got to get on this call because I've got to ask questions.
No, just send us through the menu of where you're going.
Oh, really?
Easy, yeah. Send us through the menu. Send through here or to coach. Yeah, we'll tell you exactly what to eat. We'll give you
So
some suggestions.
who am I sending that to?
Send it to me. Send it to anybody. Don't mind wherever you send it to. But I can review it.
So
I just sent you a message there. So just pop the links in mine, mate. You'll be all right. I'll send you a video.
Thank you.
Of course, man. Got your back.
Because I just don't want to fall off the wagon.
You're right, man. No sweat. Of course. Gals, was that everything today? Geordie, you can stay on.
Yep.
Cool. Epic. Thanks for jumping on, gals. Appreciate your
All
time
right,
today.
ya.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Bye.
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 Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Kiani, if you want to
Bye.
stay on, you
Bye.
can.
Bye.
Rock and roll. Gals, we're gonna do the this will be just my chat group after on the what is it, on 8:30 till for you and Kiani and Geordie. This will be our private, Demi, sorry. This will be like our private one. So it'll be on 8:30 Tuesdays. We'll do a little private Q&A just for like my gals and stuff. So if you don't want to hear like the same questions every week, which I'm sure you guys might have, Geordie maybe not because you've only been on a couple, but if you're bored of like the same questions and that sort of shit, we'll open up 8:30 p.m. Sydney time. I know you probably jumped on Queensland time, Geordie. So we're all wrapped up. I was looking, I go, hang on, Geordie's in Queensland.
Sorry.
No, you're right, man. No sweat. But Kiani, I know, was excited about jumping into the private, like our little group chat, our video group chat. So I just want to let you know, Kiani, next week we'll do a separate one. It'll be probably on my personal link for Zoom. So if you want to jump on that or any of them, you can. Cool. Cool. Geordie, do you have any questions? Good to see your face on, by the way.
Yeah, no questions. I kind of just wanted to kind of jump in and say hi.
I know.
So,
I haven't seen you on page.
just show really.
I'll see if I can send you the slides that we had as well. Kiani, if you want to hop off, mate, more than welcome to. I know it's been a long day. See you guys. See you, darling. I'll send you through some of the slides. So some of the stuff that we worked on, it's a really good shit. It was a great call. Let's go. I'm just gonna screen share and just run through a little bit as what we did. Just give you like a highlight reel. So it was like emotional eating, which is again, I'll run you through the slide. I think pertinent maybe to the situation as well. But it was like the habit that's running you know, emotional eating is stress relief, boredom relief, it's reward, it's escape, it's stuff when you've already blown it, all that sort of stuff. And so we just run through hunger versus emotion, why mums generally struggle more because you guys take on a brunt of the emotional stuff in the household, all that sort of jazz. The pattern that kind of keeps you stuck is trigger, emotion, eat, temporary relief, guilt. I'll start again Monday. The fun stuff. I'm sure you've done it. I've done it. The fact that you're broken, you're avoiding. So what it is. Emotional eating is emotional avoidance. Instead of setting boundaries, we eat. Instead of admitting we're overwhelmed, we eat. Things like that. The truth of it, what to do instead, building emotional capacity. Your kids will watch it. So what are they learning from us as well? Which is a really confronting but important one. Standards over feelings. This took about 30 minutes to walk through, so I'm giving you the abridged version.
Of course, yes.
Practical tools, and the final point. So what I'll do is I'll either put up the video on school if you want to watch it, but I think for you and your situation, could be pretty beneficial to watch and just have some slides and like work alongside if you're open to it.
For sure.
Cool, man. Hey, do you have any questions? I feel like we haven't caught up in Hot Minute House training and everything going. Food going okay. We're sort of plodding along. Do you need any help with
Yeah, we're kind of still working on just getting a bit of consistency going back with the food front, which I'm working on. I am definitely overwhelmed, so this will be really useful, to be honest.
Please watch the video. Please watch the video. Please watch the video. It's 30 minutes. You can try to watch it on full time because I don't get people jumping in until the back end and then it's a shitload of questions. So yes, anyway,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt, but yes, carry on.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Gym is going really good. I'm really enjoying training. I'm yeah, I actually feel like I'm going really, really good. I feel confident. It's like a good space for me. Like I'm looking forward to it, which is awesome for me. And it's been pretty consistent so far.
Nice,
So
man.
that's really nice. Um, I did want to ask you, I saw in the chat, just a random question.
Yeah.
I saw in the chat that you've moved, like we've got like an OG chat or whatever
Yeah, yeah,
on WhatsApp.
yeah.
I think I've been kicked out of there because I have a new phone. So I can't access that one if there's anything, important or
I
anything
popped
that
it
I need to
in.
see. I
It's
haven't
just
got
us. It's just us chatting shit, but it's fun because there's only like 30
right.
of us now, and like I kind of want to
Yeah.
keep my like the gals that I really like that stick around together because it's more fun for me.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
trainerize is like whatever.
Yep.
I just looking at it, I just know there's problems, so I check it intermittently these days. It's not
Yeah.
not even any people messaging me. It's like usually people that aren't clients, like
Yep.
the gals clients.
Yep.
So I'd rather when I look at this have joy versus anxiety.
Feels.
Very
Yeah. I
good.
got you.
So I've popped the invitation in the group. Oh wait, did you get pumped out of
On
the group
train.
chat on Trainerize? Is that what you're saying?
No, I have the invitation on Trainerize, but when I
Okay,
click
hop in
on
on
it,
that one.
it says, yeah, it says I'm not a member or something. I'll try and do
Okay.
it again. And
What's
I'll
your
let you know.
invite Geordie? George, what would you be?
I am very untech savvy, so I could just be
You're all
doing
right.
something really
What's your
stupid.
mobile number?
0402 048 709.
Hey, done. Geordie didn't work.
Okay.
Add to OG Mill Squad. Banger.
All
Perfect.
right. Sweet.
Let's go. Good shit.
Done.
Cool,
It's good to
man. Yeah,
know.
hop on that. Feel free to jump in and have a good laugh. I want that to be a bit more of like I don't know, an us page just for the OGs. It's been more fun that way.
Just a bit of banter. I
Yeah,
like
man,
a
it's
little
good
bit
shit.
of talk.
Good
Why
shit. Just a
not?
bit of, bit of light fun. Cool, man. Um, Epic. Hey, it's on the cards. I might be trying to do I know it might be hard for you to manage. I know you're a bit above Brizzy, but what I might do, if possible, but it could be a big stretch, is probably the next probably 2 months. I'm gonna try and do, or 2 to 3 months, try and do like a Brizzy meetup if I can. So
Okay.
if you're maybe open to the potential of, I don't know, whatever. But it'd be like we'd keep it super cash, but it'd be like a
Yep.
pretty much like a gym session together and then some food. It's kind of how we did it
Yeah.
last time. So if
Yeah.
you're
If
open
I
to it,
100%. Yeah, as
cool.
long as I have a bit of a heads up time wise. I
Yeah.
was actually going to hit some people up in like the group chat or something because I'll be in Brisbane in April. Well, in the
Right.
Gold Coast.
Okay.
I don't know
Oh,
if there's
vibes.
many
We can get
clients
around
there.
there. I know it's about an hour.
Yeah.
Goldie's about an hour or two out, right?
It's doable. Yeah, it's more doable than Rocky. So
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
definitely willing to
Yeah, yeah,
travel.
yeah, 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 yeah.
If
Yeah.
I'm around, I'll
Yeah,
travel
sick,
in to
man.
see everyone.
Let me know
Um,
the dates because I'll try to get a Brizzy, a Melbourne, and a Sydney. That'd be fucking
yeah,
like the holy trinity. That'd be so much fun for me. So let me know the dates that you're in, Goldie, and then maybe
yeah,
we can make it
okay,
work. Because then, look, to be
cool.
honest, like I don't. It'll either be I make a random date work and I get nobody in Brizzy, or I try and make it work with us, and then I get you, and then whoever wants to straggle along. Because it's kind of fun to get up
Yeah,
and have a bit of a chop up shit and just train and hang out. So get to
yeah,
meet the
I'd really
fam as
like it.
well.
'Cause
Yeah,
100%. I
yeah,
was
be
going to
sick.
hit people up anyway and be like, can we
Great.
do like a walk or
Great.
something? I
Yes, yes,
don't know.
yeah, cool. We can set. Look, there's a fair whack more than when you first started in terms of the program. So I'm sure we'll be able to find some
Cool.
Brisbaneites and probably some people in the Gold
Awesome.
that want to have a good crack. So keen.
That sounds so good.
Awesome,
Awesome.
man. That'd be fun.
Love
Pumped.
it.
I'll upload that video now. It should take
Yes.
a
On
bit of
school, yeah.
time on school.
Yeah.
Once it sort of converts, once it closes off, and then you'll have access to it. Cool.
Amazing.
Awesome, my friend. Good to see you, and hopefully I get to see you sooner than later.
Likewise. Yes.
All right.
And thank you. I
See you,
appreciate
man.
you letting me hang around
Of
too
course,
after
man.
the meeting. More
Hey,
time of yours.
hey. All family here, man. Good to see you. More importantly, I'll
You
talk to you
too,
soon, though.
mate.
See you, mate.
Sounds good.
See
Bye,
ya.
darling.